savoir garder la face sous le masque de tous les jours et retenir les cris de haine qui sont les derniers mots d'amour face au destin qui vous désarme et devant le bonheur perdu il faut savoir garder la face. Mais moi je t'aime trop.
I haven't looked at any schedules or any listings. I don't have any idea what we're gonna bump into today, but we're gonna try to pop in a Luhring Augustine and see what they've got. Okay, Mike Kelly singles mixers at Luhring Augustine. Sounds promising. Okay. Well, you can go back in some of the files of the Kalm report of the rough cuts and probably see 3 or 4 major programs with Mike Kelly. And see, this is just a piece of one of his larger programs, larger installation pieces. Okay. So he's got some parts of this that look like a rumpus room. We've got Lawan plywood stuck on a baffle wall with you know, it looks like thrift shop paintings, although maybe Mike painted those himself. He was actually a pretty competent painter when he wanted to be. Got her old school chair. I'll read a little bit from the press release. On view at Luhring Augustine Bushwick is extracurricular activities, projective reconstruction number 5 singles mixers. One of many reconstructions within the larger production of Day Is Done. Situated at the center is a multi-channel video featuring an eclectic group of characters identified by Kelly as computer nerd, hillbilly, kiss fan, witch, and 4 African-American women. Okay. Let's see. Brief synopsis of some of this. Okay, I think a lot of this is dealing with Michael Kelly's recollections of high school, and maybe some of these photos are from his own high school yearbook, maybe not, but you can see where he's kind of tried to reconstruct these, of course using probably professional actors. There's the Kiss fan. Okay, I guess that's the hillbilly. You know, I saw a huge installation of Mike's work probably back in 2011, 2012 at was David's Werner? Maybe it was Gagosian. And it all seemed pretty contemporary. Strangely, I think he committed suicide in 2012, and somehow that kind of isolated the work, and it's kind of drifted off into time, and somehow that kind of makes it feel strangely dated, so in a certain way we've got kind of his references of his high school days, probably in the mid-70s. Then that's reconstructed for what was happening in 2012, and now looking back on it from 5 years beyond that, it's even distanced by one more level. Okay, we're gonna run on. Okay, let's try clearing. Yes. Okay, sculpture fans. It's a show by Jean-Marie Appriou titled ABALON. It's a sculpture show. Well, this has got some ambitious pieces here. This is titled The Piper, 2017, cast aluminum, hand-blown glass, and wire. I didn't pick up a press release, so I don't have any of the galleries' promotional information / propaganda. So I don't know what Jean-Marie's backstory is. I kind of like his figures. It's titled The Swimmer, cast aluminum, hand-blown glass, and wire. You know, it's a lot of times I see sculpture and I think it's so delicate or so finely made that it would not hold up too well outside, but I actually think these pieces would probably do better outside than they do inside. This is titled The Flame, 2017. Cast aluminum and cast bronze. Well, there's a certain kind of ruggedness to his casts, and yeah, these little kind of fault holes. I'm wondering if that's just bad casting or whether he intended that. This could all be sand cast or something very kind of primitive, but relating to classic bronze casting from antiquity. This piece is titled The Wave, 2017, cast aluminum, acrylic paint, copper lead, gold leaf. This is 132.5 by 85.5 by 52. Well, this is what made me say that I thought that Jean-Marie is a pretty ambitious artist. This is huge. And okay, we can see that this was cast in at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 big pieces. And yeah, interesting to see where they've cut off his sprues. Okay, I actually thought that the color here was some kind of paint, but I see that this is the gold leaf and the copper leaf. And I like the relationship between the wave and the swimmer. Maybe he could be a little closer. Let's run in the back room. Well, both of these standing figures are pretty impressive. I was gonna guess this is the archer. Cast aluminum and cast bronze. It's 100 by 58 by 13 inches. So it's kind of flat. And then the bow is hand-blown glass. I like the bronze hand. This is the last room. This piece is titled The Thinker. And, well, I was looking at this hand and the gesture of it, kind of the muscular structure in the face, and kind of getting an echo of Rodin a little bit. This is cast aluminum, cast bronze, 72 by 24.5 by 13.5. And yeah, I like the color distinctions between the bronze and the aluminum. And we've got more moths. This is moth number 1, hand-blown glass and hardware, 21 by 44. It's kind of painterly, and yeah, I like the thick glass. Moth number 2. It's kind of icky looking. Looks like it's been sitting out on the moors or out in a swamp someplace for the last 5 years. Moth number 1. Oh, let's see what kind of hardware they've got here. Oh, little hooks. This has been a look at ABALON, an exhibition by Jean-Marie Appriou here at Clearing. I see they've got a exhibition of paintings by Harold Ancart. So we'll slip in and take an oogle. I was going to head out, and then I stopped in here and looked at Harold's paintings and thought, this is kind of interesting. So we basically got two planes that Harold is using. We've got the base, and then he has a upright panel that divides that. And yeah, so he's kind of playing with sculptural elements, but also it's kind of a interesting dealing with painting codes, painting languages. So, well, I was thinking that some of these make me think of Clifford Still. And then, I don't know, that's something more like a Rothko. You can kind of mixy-matchy, and I think all of them have these two straight lines that kind of cut the composition. Okay, I was thinking I was missing the titles, but I wasn't. They're all untitled. This is Untitled 2017 Oil Stick on Plywood, 21.5 by 48 by 32 inches. And I was thinking that this might be repurposed wood that he found somewhere, but as I look at this, I see that it's actually pretty nice wood. He's gonna finish this off, and there's a little bit of funkiness or some splitting here and there, but mostly this is looks like wood that was bought and fabricated specifically for the paintings. Now this is interesting. It's like the base is kind of Clifford Still. That landscape kind of looked like, made me think of Milton Avery. This kind of makes me think of William Bezoides. Untitled, Oil Stick on Plywood. Ten and 3/4 by 24 by 16 inches. Well, if I use his dimensions as any kind of a guide, you would actually be looking at the pieces from this angle. This show is titled The Seasons by Harold Ancart. Here at the clearing, 396 Johnson Avenue. We're gonna roll on. Yes, viewers, I hope you're not suffering from aesthetic fatigue yet. I've done several programs out here in the last 5 or 6 years on Johnson Avenue, and I thought this place might have gone away, but they're still here. Signal. So let's pop in and see a show by Rachel Rossin titled Peak Performance. Well, I had no idea what to expect when I popped in here. So it looks like a painting and sculpture show. Well, we'll start out looking at this piece. This is titled Air Hose for Motherboard. And yeah, it's got a whole lot of various parts. PC LED cooling fans, 4-pin Molex strips, 3-pin Molex adapters, hand-painted aquarium bubbler, 2 sticks of 4 GB RAM, ASUS ASAE-LE motherboard with Anthlon CPU and fan socket, 939 matrix LED panel, microcontroller, 8x8 LED matrix, 3-dimensional animation, mineral oil, glass tank, acrylic lid, and steel base. Also, it's a little difficult to tell exactly which one of these sculptural pieces is which. I'm gonna guess this one is After Gummy Hand 2017. Blowtorch digital painting on acrylic. 37 by 18 by 64. Well, I was going to complain about the lighting, but now I realize that half of what they're going for here is the shadows. So if we follow the shadows from Gummy Hand sculpture over to this, this is also Gummy Hand 2017, oil and rubber paint on canvas, 60 by 78. Okay, looks like we've got some spray paint in there, maybe some oil stick, maybe. I guess that's kind of a figure, it's a face. I will guess this is After Long Crouching. Blowtorch digital painting on acrylic, 43 by 12 by 65. So, I was going to say this is, it's like a combination of digital printing, and then maybe there's been some hand painting added in, maybe not. Oh, that's a nice effect. This is After Crybaby. Let me read a little bit from the press release. Peak Performance presents 3 new bodies of work by the artist: oil painting depicting virtual environments, melted plexiglass sculpture, and aquarium-like augmented reality computers suspended in oil. These works share a similar origin in Rossin's survey of virtual space with and without physicality, and draw from her own experiences escaping and augmenting subjectivity through a merger with technology. Okay. Kind of nice the way the light comes through these. Following her previous work in virtual reality environments, Rosin's second exhibition at the gallery explores the disembodied consciousness in digital space. The seductive fantasy of a body freed from the limitations of anatomy and physics, the potential for abuse and disfigurement, and the inevitability of entropic deterioration. I like it. Entropic is one of my favorite words. This is titled Oranges with Horizon, 60 by 78. And there are a lot of similar forms in the paintings and what she's printing digitally on the plexiglass sculptures. I actually kind of prefer the handmade ruggedness of some of these. Let's run in the back room. Oh, more of the tanks. Oh, that's interesting. Some kind of video image there. Pixelated. Let's check out this one. Well, I actually, I guess like most people, find these, the tank pieces very attractive, and they're kind of soothing. It's like sitting back and watching your goldfish or your little tetras swim around in a tank. And yeah, there is some kind of digital video thing happening there. So this has been a stroll through Rachel Rossin Peak Performance here at Signal. And we also took a look at ABALON by Jean-Marie Appriou and The Seasons by Harold Ancart. That was a clearing. And we popped in for Mike Kelly single mixers at Luhring Augustine. All right, you can leave your reviews, critiques, ideas, discussion points, kvelching, but help me say thank you, Kate. Très bon, merci.
Collection of those, don't you?
Yes, I do.
No, I don't need that.
Thank you.